So today I'm going to discuss HIIT workouts. What's shaking bacon? In today's video, we're going to discuss working out since you're on a high protein diet. Specifically, we're going to talk about an exercise anyone can do at any level of fitness, and it's called a HIIT workout, high intensity interval training. So these are really good workouts, and you can adjust it to your own intensity. So you never want to make a workout easy, other than maybe the first time or two so your body adapts. But for the most part, you want to make a workout challenging. And this is a workout that's designed to be challenging, and you can control the intensity of that. So the best part is you don't need any weight equipment. This is something you can do at home. And the beautiful thing about that is you can do it at your leisure. They're really efficient workouts, and they're really intense workouts, and they're designed to be short. We don't want a HIIT workout to last more than 20 minutes. Now, if you want to throw a bit of a warm up and a bit of a cool down in there, I get it. I wouldn't do more than a minute's worth of warm up. You don't need much more than that. And as far as an exercise program goes, it's ideal for someone with a busy schedule. 15, 20 minutes a day. On a busy day, you can even do a really short, intense 10-minute workout. So the goal is, the shorter the workout, the more intense it's got to be. But typically you want to keep around the 20-minute mark, because right around, 25 minutes or so, you start burning into your lean mass as fuel. Now, some people it's a little longer. Some people it might be a little shorter. So steady state cardio, you're thinking to yourself, well, I walk every day, or I go do 45 minutes on the elliptical, or whatever the steady state cardio piece of equipment is. That's actually eating into your metabolism, and you don't want that. You want to build your metabolism when you work out. And what happens is when you work out too long, you start burning glycogen, then you start burning blood sugar, and then you start burning some fat. But after a while, your body says, wait a minute, we're in this for the long haul. We have to adapt. So what we're going to do, since we're doing this for a long time, we don't want to carry all this weight through this long exercise. So what we're going to do is we're going to start burning lean mass. So it's going to start eating into your muscle mass and your bone density. You don't want that. So long workouts were the way we all learned to do workouts back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It was just the standard back then, but we know better now. HIIT workouts, short, intense workouts, are far better for you. So how does a HIIT workout go? Well, you do a certain amount of intense activity, and then you rest. And then you do more intense activity, and then you rest. So you just keep that up. So we're going to go over some different exercises you can throw in there later on in the video. But for now, we're just going to talk about some of the benefits of doing workouts like this. So we've already discussed how great it is for someone with a busy schedule. We've already talked about how it's efficient, but let's talk about some other aspects. One of the most important things is you're going to burn fat doing a workout like this. You're not doing it long enough to burn muscle, but you are going to raise your metabolism doing a workout like this. So you get all the benefits of building muscle because you're doing exercises like, say, squats or push-ups, but you're not doing it long enough to burn muscle. And you never want to burn muscle when you're doing exercise. You want to maintain and build muscle. So if you're doing a type of exercise too long, you're getting into that area where it's counterproductive. Long workouts are counterproductive. You have to remember that. It's counterproductive. You're working out to build up a metabolism. You don't want to start eating into that metabolism while you're exercising. HIIT workouts are great for burning fat though, because it raises your metabolism for quite a while afterwards. If you do steady state cardio, your metabolism is built up for a day. So if you do 45 minutes or an hour on an elliptical or a rowing machine or a treadmill, you're going to build your metabolism up for a day. But when you're building up your muscle mass by doing some weight resistance or body weight resistance exercises, you're building your metabolism up for days afterwards. So this way, you're doing a series of exercises that are designed to build muscle, and you're doing it with short windows of rest in between each exercise. And then you're repeating each set. So you might do jump squats, push-ups, and lunges. And with those exercises, you'll do those 3 and then rest. And then you'll do them again and rest. And then you'll do them again and rest. And we'll get into the time frame of how active you have to be and how much rest you can have. So the important thing is that you try and shoot for about 10 sets. So you want a workout to be anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. Ideally, you want that sweet spot closer to 20 minutes. Intense, longer workouts up to 20 minutes long. If you can do a HIIT workout for more than 20 minutes, you're doing it wrong. It's not a HIIT workout. It's just a cardio class at that point. And you're supposed to be doing an all-out workout for 20 minutes. When you're working, you're working. When you're resting, you're resting. Believe it or not, it's proved to be better for the metabolism. Look at sprinters. Look at any picture of a sprinter. They're jacked, they're ripped, they have a lot of muscle mass because when they run, they have to literally torque their body really hard. And that takes a lot of muscle mass and it's really intense. So when they do that, they actually are building quite a bit of muscle. They want a good upper body frame as well as thick legs for that power. Now, long distance runners don't want that. So that's where your steady state long distance cardio comes in. People who are jogging for like a half hour or more, they put a t-shirt on and you can't really tell they're working out. Now, it's cool. Like, it's good for your cardiovascular system. Absolutely. It's good for your heart. Absolutely. There's benefits to it. I'm not trying to knock it. What I am trying to do is compare it to the benefits of high intensity interval training. Sprinters, what do? They sprint and then they rest. And then they sprint again and they rest. And they keep on doing that. And probably about 15 or 20 years ago, people started to notice, wait a minute, why does sprinters look so good? And a big part of it is the way they train. And people realized it's really the way to go. So short bursts of intense exercise with little windows of rest, and you just keep it up for 20 minutes. There's been times where if you just do 5 minutes on a really tight day and you're like, I got to get my workout in today, and you're in a real pinch for time or you have low energy, you can do 5 minutes. I challenge anyone to do 5 minutes of jump squats and not tell me that they're not exhausted afterwards. 5 minutes, see how many you can do, or even just squats. That's a pretty good workout for a day that you weren't going to have time to work out or you didn't have the gumption. That's where that really comes in. So of course, like most exercising, it's going to reduce your heart rate and your blood pressure. So at the time you're doing it, it's going to increase, and it's going to increase quite a bit. And you don't want to have too high for either of those. You want to keep it in a safe range. So the one thing you can monitor from home is your heart rate. So you just want to make sure you stay in a safe range, and you can Google that to find out what your heart rate should be based on your age and sex. So like I touched on before, if there's no equipment necessary, you can use some equipment with that. You can incorporate some dumbbells if you want, or some resistance bands. But for the most part, you can do it with just body weight exercises. So you have no excuse. You can do this anywhere. But you're thinking to yourself, well, there's certain things I can't do because maybe I'm overweight or I have some injuries or I'm just not that strong. I'm going to help you with some of these basic exercises that are going to be really good for you to do. And I'm going to show you some modified ways that you can do them so that you can get full range of motion in with most of these exercises and get all the benefits of a good workout. And then you start working towards doing it the regular way. Any workout you ever do has to challenge you. And if you're doing a HIIT workout, let's just say you're doing a HIIT workout for, a month. And you're noticing by the end of the month, you're not huffing and puffing as much as you used to. And now you can do pretty good with it. And you're doing all 10 sets and you're doing all the exercises you need. Well, at that point, I want you to start working a little harder, jump a little higher, do a few more reps during each set. So when you're doing, say, push-ups, you want to do more push-ups. If you could usually only do 8 push-ups in your allotted time, try shooting for 9 or 10. Working out with music can help with that. It gives you some momentum when you're working out, gives you a beat to work to. One of the goals of this, like I said, is to burn fat, but also it minimizes muscle loss because you're not working out long enough to eat into your muscle mass as fuel. Short of a bit of a warm-up and a cool down before and after that, I get it. But as far as the workout goes, no more than 20 minutes. Doing this is going to increase your metabolism. And the higher and faster your metabolism is, the more fat you're going to burn. And that's what lots of people want. They want to keep relatively low fat and they want to put on lean mass. You don't want to be a skinny fat person, especially if you're losing weight. You want to try and have somewhat of a muscular frame because you're helping your future self when you do that. Having more muscle on you means more lean mass as far as your bone density goes. It means your organs have more muscle to them. And so you're helping your organs work more efficiently. You're going to help yourself when you're in your 60s, 70s, and 80s. There is no age limit for this type of exercise. There's no minimum and there's no maximum. So it's good for everyone. You can have your kids do it with you. They can be great incentive to help keep you going through it. The cool thing is it's seriously challenging. So if you're doing, say, 10 sets, this is what I've always noticed when I find my sweet spot with how intense my workout should be. So if I'm doing 10 sets of a HIIT workout and I've made a routine for myself, the first 3 sets, I'm usually like, okay, this is good. My heart rate's up. I'm breathing a little heavy, but nothing too bad. Sets 4, 5, and 6, I start to notice I'm getting more focused on what I'm doing, and I'm not talking as much if I'm doing it with someone, and I'm more focused on counting what I'm doing, and I'm sort of keeping my reps up and my speed up, and I'm watching my form. And I notice I'm just more focused and I'm breathing much heavier. And then sets 7 to 10 or so, or 8 to 10, you're sort of thinking to yourself, oh man, this is really tough. You're breathing heavier. It's a really good, intense workout. But here's the beautiful part. You're not going to be like that through the whole workout. It's going to take you a few sets to get up to that, quite a few sets. And that's when you know you're doing it right. When you're getting up to like the 8th set and you're thinking to yourself, whew, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. No worries, because you only have 2 sets after that. 2 sets, and that's going to be usually about 2 minutes worth of activity. So like I touched on before, one of the best things about this is you can do a workout before or after you eat. Even protein raises your blood sugar, and so does fat a little bit, but protein does raise your blood sugar. So just because you're zero carb or carnivore doesn't mean that you're not going to get sugar spikes. They're just not as high as carbohydrate spikes. But what this is going to do is it's going to lower those spikes. You can eat enough protein that you can crash afterwards. It's going to still raise your blood sugar. This is a good habit to get into after you eat. So it's not bad to do fasted, say first thing in the morning. I find I move a little bit better when I do it fasted. But that being said, I'm in my late 40s now. For all you people 30 and under, you're probably doing just fine. You can build a routine of doing it every day. Now, when you first start out, you don't have to do it every day, and I don't recommend doing it every day. Maybe for the first month, do it every second day. But after that month, start making it a daily routine, and you can change up the exercises so that you can do this daily and it's not going to be overwhelming. So you can do a series of exercises for one of your workouts that's all lower body exercises. And then you could do another HIIT routine that's all upper body exercises. And then you could make a third routine that's a mixture of upper and lower. So you can do, say, squats, and then you can go to push-ups as an example. And then you could keep that going back and forth. So while one area is resting, the other area is getting a good workout. One of the other benefits with this is it can manage stress. So stress is the thing that's always plaguing us in the background. We all have it. Everyone has it. It's just a matter of what degree do we have it to. And what you want to do is find a way you can manage your stress, and a physical activity is a great thing to do because you're mentally engaged in what you're doing. So it's a nice load off the brain, and it's also physically engaging. And even if the first few sets, it's not too bad. Like I said, you're going to really be engaged by set 3, 4, or 5. Guaranteed, you're doing it right when you're really focused by the time you do 3 or 4 sets. So what's a HIIT routine like? Well, I do a routine like this: 20 seconds of push-ups, as an example, 20 seconds of squats, and 20 seconds of lunges. So I keep a 3-second window in between each one to transition from one to the next. So really each set is 23 seconds. So 20 seconds of push-ups, and then I stand up and I go over to my area where I do my squats. So I give myself 3 seconds just to transition from one exercise to the next. So it doesn't eat into my little window of time I want to work out. So it's 20 seconds of activity, 3 different exercises, and then I rest for 20 seconds. That's one set. And then I try and repeat that 10 times. So when I first started doing this in my fitness challenge that I'm doing, I'm 2 months into it. I'm just starting my 3rd month now. It's June 1st when I'm recording this. The first, 4 or 5 HIIT workouts I didn't even try and do all 10 sets. I went to what felt comfortably challenging for me. And for me, that workout I just gave you, I did probably about 7 sets the first couple times, and then 8 or 9 sets the couple times after that. And I wasn't doing it too intense. I was letting my body adjust to it. But after about, the 6th or 7th time, I really started pushing myself. Instead of just doing 8 squats in the allotted time, I started pushing for 9 or 10 squats. That's the mentality you want to have when you're working out. You're always trying to challenge yourself. In the beginning, I want you to just get used to it. But after a few workouts, you should be challenging yourself just a bit more each time. You always want to watch your form. You always want to watch your technique. And that's where YouTube videos are really good. You can go and check out any of these exercises I'm going to give you to watch for proper form. And then you can put your own routines together for what makes you feel comfortably challenged. So the first exercise is going to be squats. You can do squats, or if you feel like you're already in a pretty athletic zone, you can start doing jump squats. So you're going to find maybe a 20 or 30 second window you're going to keep that up for. And then push-ups is another one. But you're thinking, you know what? My shoulders are bad. I have really bad shoulders. Or you're thinking, I don't have much upper body strength. Well, you know what? I've mentioned this in other videos. I highly recommend always doing push-ups from steps. Never on the floor. You always want to have full range. You almost want your chest to touch the floor if you can. And if you can't do that, I want you to do it on your steps. Go about 4 or 5 or 6 steps up and do push-ups on the steps, not on the wall. Push-ups on the wall aren't doing anything. And after a month or so, see if you can move down a step. And then after a few more weeks, see if you can move down another step and eventually work your way into doing push-ups on the floor. Toe raises is another one you can do. That's where you stand and you just stand on your toes and lower yourself. Stand on your toes and lower yourself. Now, when you lower yourself, it's best if you do it on a step. So if you do it on, say, the bottom step of your steps, you want to go nice and low. You want to bring your heels below the step and then raise yourself up. You can always do Supermans, and Supermans are when you line your stomach. You line your stomach and you put your arms and legs out like you're a star, like you're a little kid trying to be a star. And you raise the opposite leg to hand up towards the sky. So you're face down and you raise your opposite leg and hand up towards the sky, and then you go to the other side, and then you go to the one side, and then you go to the other side. And each time you're doing that, you're also arching your back up a little bit. So you want to do a Superman. Another one is knee raises. You stand there and you raise your knee up to your chest, and then you alternate back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You want to challenge yourself a little bit more, hop while you're doing it. So you go like hop left, hop right, hop left, hop right, and you raise your knees up as high as you can. Another one is lunges. You can do lunges with your legs behind you or legs in front of you. As you get better with it, you might want to start holding onto a wall or a pole or something like that. And as you progress, you can probably do it freehand. If you find your balance is off, maybe give yourself a bit of a space between your feet. So don't just bring your foot forward, bring it forward and out just a little bit, just a couple inches, and it'll help give you a wider base. Planking is another good one you can do. So you go on your elbows and keep your body rigid. If you want to get your triceps and you just can't do push-ups, so that you're making a little triangle like this with your hands, you can put your hands 4 or 5 steps up and do push-ups holding your hands like that. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the load off of your chest and put it on your arms, mainly your triceps. So you try and touch as low as you can and then go up as high as you can. But these are some great exercises you can do. There's a ton more exercises you can throw in there. Just want you to remember, there's no way it's too much for you. But you're thinking to yourself, I'm in my 50s, 60s, or 70s. All the more reason you need to do these. You want good metabolic health, especially at that age. Building your lean mass is going to give you good metabolic health. It's going to help to fight off lots of these health problems you may have or ones you're going to be dealing with. So doing it now, it's one of those, if you don't use it, you lose it. And you can get this back. So if you can, give yourself a challenge. Start off with shorter HIIT workouts for the first month. Don't make them too long. Don't make them too intense. What I recommend is just making sure you do them every day. It's not a huge workout like a bodybuilding workout where you're doing lots of heavy weights and you need lots of rest days. This is going to make you more construction workers strong, not bodybuilders strong, where you can do a few exercises with really high weight only a few times. This is going to help build up your endurance, and you know what you're going to notice? Climbing up stairs is going to be easier. Doing little exercises are going to be easier. Your heart rate and blood pressure are going to go down doing this. There's so many reasons to do this. It's a short amount of time each day. It's perfect for almost anybody. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks for tuning in. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this. So thanks a lot and take care.